Hello, we are the group of Kingpin. Today we're here to show off our final product for Kingpin.
As this was our final, we decided to get our cards professionally printed, as you can see across the table. Also, for the purposes of our final, we have gotten Monopoly money to keep track of our money system. We've also gained a six-sided. We've also gotten a six-sided die for the gameplay, as there are certain cards that have either a certain window of chance to succeed or fail. If you'd like to explain the rules.
Okay, so starting off, each player starts with $1,000 and 3 lives. They also start with 4 property cards and 4 action cards. The action cards cost money to use. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. We also have event cards, which are played every 5 rounds, but they last only 3 rounds. We also have implemented a co-op system.
Oh, two co-op systems.
Yes, 2 co-op systems. Thank you, sir. You have the option to choose which one you would like to use. The first method is where you choose your person that you want to work with. You offer up a property as well as they do, and you also offer up a little bit of money. Now, this person can betray you, so be wary of them, especially when you're getting close to that winning the game system. Well, not system, but winning the game portion of the game. That would be which is winning the game is $4,000. Or you can kill off all of your opponents, even the person that you are teamed up with. They can be 2 winners or they can be 1.
The second method of co-op is more passive and more or less forced. Based on how you have the properties laid out in front of you, the 2 edge properties will automatically be shared between each people. So you get their passive effects and half of the revenue from each of them at whenever you get revenue.
So for this specific recording, me and James will be teamed up using method 1 of the co-op system, and Miss Amber will be trying to destroy us. So yeah.
One thing that was not mentioned, you can play 2 action cards per round, and you gain an additional action card at the end of every 2 rounds, which is when you gain the revenue for your properties. From there, you can also buy action cards if you run out of action cards before you get to the end, where you get the free card.
One more thing I'd like to mention before we start playing the game is when your turn comes about, you don't always have to play an action card. You can just do nothing. I hope you enjoy our gameplay. Everyone work?
Amber is the youngest, so she goes first and it continues clockwise.
Yay. Alright. Well, right off the bat, so I can get a head start, I'm going to play my collect insurance action card. And what that does is I can collect all the money from my properties early, and it doesn't affect the next actual payment, and it costs $50 to play. So I'm going to break up one of the 100s that I have and just get 50 back since I'm paying 50. And in total, I'll be getting 500, about $500. And that will end my turn.
Okay.
I have received in my hand a Crackdown card, which I'm forced to play immediately. It costs nothing, but I pay $100 or lose the highest revenue from the next payment. So that would be 300. So I'd rather pay the 100 and discard the card.
That is
But it's not.
That is
clear.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of knocking down your king. All right. And then I will play the new management card, which allows me to either which allows me to pay $200 in order to grab a new property card, or pay an additional 100, so a total of 300 to take someone else's property card. So for now, I'll just get myself a new property card by paying the 200, and that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. So since we are teamed up, we should probably decide which properties we're gonna have working together.
Yeah.
So because we're splitting, I will put forth the distillery.
Or the speakeasy.
Man, ain't that amazing?
So the distillery has a base revenue of 100, and the speakeasy has a base revenue of 50. The distillery also has a special effect where every speakeasy you have gains an additional 25 revenue, so it becomes 75. So because he shared his distillery with me, any speakeasies I would have, since we're sharing the effects, would also become 75 when it comes time to collect profits.
Okay. And let's see, what do I want to do here? Well, I guess it's time to get my hands dirty. I'm going to play raid, and that means I can choose another player's property or raid. I gain twice the property's value, and the person who I raided gains 0. So let's just see what we're going to do to this
A
app.
very good card.
It also costs $58.
Yes,
also
it does
costs
cost
$50.
$50. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and raid your hospital.
All right.
Uh,
For just for reference, my hospital, I get $400 in revenue.
So he would get 800 from this.
Yes, I get 800.
So 500.
1, 2, and 3, and 5. Boom, shakalaka. Wait. Alrighty. That will endeth my turn, and that will also bring forth our first event card. And the event card for today is, wow, Blackout.
Oh, how fun.
The power grid has gone down for the whole city. Everyone has to pitch in to get the power back on, or no one makes any money. Well, the cost to get the power back on is $1,000. This card lasts for 3 turns. 3 rounds, I'm sorry.
If we pay the full $1,000 right now, then the effects will be nullified because we will have paid and worked together to nullify the effects of that card. I would be willing to pitch in for that if you guys want to.
What about you?
You only put 2 unknown penniform.
200. I mean, I could put
I'll put 3.
And then you go 500.
yeah, okay.
There we go. They all
Alright.
paid
Mr.
for the
Moneybags over there raiding my hospitals.
Hey,
Well, so
That
your
this-
500.
The equivalent to knocking over your king.
So we will now discard this card. Discard card. All right. Well, I think it's only
Oh wait,
fair to
she's
pay
gonna
you
come back.
in kindness and show you even more of even more than you showed me. I'm gonna play a hitman card.
Oh my.
I'm gonna play it. Oh my. Either of you have safe houses, I see.
No, he didn't.
So Roman, I'm going to play this Hitman card on
You have activated my trap card. Bar the entrance.
you. Ooh, you're gonna use that right now then. Alright.
I'm not losing my life, baby. No. So, bar the entrance is a card where it protects you from hitman cards, checkmate cards, raids, and new management cards.
All for 1 round. So you become immune for the entire round.
Yes.
So I can discard.
Yes. That is a very rare card.
There
I used
are
it quite
only-
early. I think
Yes,
it's only like two.
very early.
Yeah.
Alright.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
I'll just end my turn right there.
Staying alive.
Yeah, I'll pass on another.
Oh, man. Well, I mean,
I am out of frame. Oh, wait.
I think we're just betting on each other at this moment.
We're waiting for that free action card and some money, so.
Man, we're about to get paid anyway. So, you know what? I'm not going to do anything out of it.
Alright, so we are at the end of the second round, so all of us will gain the amount of revenue that our properties add up to. I'm going to use a calculator just for accuracy's sake.
While the two inside of our co-op pot will, all of their money that they make will go into the pot.
Mm-hmm.
So $150 or $175 for the pot.
$600.
70 and 5. Boom. Shaka.
I'll make 600.
And since it is also the end of the second turn, we will all gain an action card. Oh, this is the discarded deck. I don't want to use that one. I'll turn it aside.
Alright. And I drew a checkmate card to play it immediately, and I lose a life.
So you only have like one
I'm
life
down,
now?
I'm down to 2 lives.
Oh, I thought you already played one. Oh, you played Crackdown.
Yeah, that was Crackdown.
Okay.
I lost cash though.
Wow. Nice.
Hey, well, this is fun. Unexpected fortune, I gained $300.
Nice.
So, unexpected fortune, play immediately. Lucky you, you have happened to stumble across a few $100. You gain $300.
Nice.
Oh wow, picked up exactly
Good job.
I'm at my turn.
You're gonna end your turn. That was in
It's
your
not
turn.
even your turn.
That was just to play immediately card. It's my turn, good sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I apologize. Don't send another hitman after
Do it.
me. Hey!
He's gonna stab you in the back.
Well, I
Alright.
would if my hand was garbage.
Alright, I'm going to play my raid card.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't played a raid card. I'm gonna look at all of your. Wow! I'm gonna go against your laundering operation. Your laundering operation is $300, so I will be collecting $600.
We gotta put a stop to her.
I suppose I'll just break this 500 and draw an action card.
Why did you put the 100?
Yeah,
back in
don't
the
question. It helps math. Get free action card. Alright. I suppose I could play this action card. New management. I will pay the 300 to grab that hospital.
Ah,
Ah, smart, man.
Oh, yes.
Wow, I actually understand what it means to feel like you have short arms.
How dare you? This is a rolling for class.
Immediately throw shade.
It wasn't intentional.
Mmm. Unintentional.
It wasn't intentional. Uh,
That crackdown card draws me. This is the second time I've just up and drawn a crackdown card, lost lives.
Pay 200 for another action card. That's what I'm going to dabble into. Oh, that's not an action card. That's no. There we go. Oh, wow. We're going to hold on to that. I shall end it to my turn.
So, I am also going to pay to get an action card. Ooh, fun. And then I am, now that the option is presented to me, I'm going to play Raid. I'm going to break up this 100. I'm going to play Raid on your hospital. So I will then collect $800. We should also remember be keeping track of our money. Which I'm going to. That is how I will end my turn.
Hey. Haven't got anything to do with something on my turn.
Okay. Oh, don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. So,
Just have to only get 200.
it's okay. Okay.
Yes. Are you gonna place a hit out on me? I see you eyeing my cards.
Double check. One's a safe house.
I see it.
Might as well explain that card.
Well, are you going to place a hit out on me?
No, I'm going to play Mo.
Oh, fun.
A little birdie told you a few useful things. Select an action card from English is hard. Select an action card from an opponent's hand to look at, or they can pay $100 to negate the effect.
I don't mind you looking at the cards. It's nothing too crazy. You're not supposed to be looking at it.
I can't even tell what card that is. All the text is the same.
And I'm going to end it my turn.
So
Now it's time. It's payday, baby.
it is, in fact, payday.
Ooh. This way. No, okay. Ooh, excuse me.
I will also be drawing an action card. Ah, damn.
Ooh.
I got a checkmate. So now I also have 2 lives.
Roll for the safe house.
Oh shit, that's true, right. I forgot about
The
that.
safe house property gives you
Now you can explain
turns.
it.
Okay, the safe house negates certain cards that I obviously forgot. Thank you for calling that out, by the way. I would have.
We need to explain
It's very much a rule of if you don't call it, if they forget, then that's on them. Good for the purposes of this video, though. So safe houses will give you a chance for certain cards not to go through. So checkmate and hitman specifically, since they are threats to your life. This is where the die comes in. If one safe house is owned, if it's a 1 or a 3, it from one if it from 1 to 3. So if it's a 1, 2, or a 3, the card or the card will fail to go through, and for the purposes of checkmate, I won't lose a life. If 2 safe houses are owned, it increases from 1 to 4, and if 3 safe houses are owned, it increases to 5, 1 to 5. Look at me, it's a 3.
Rhyming accidentally, I see.
Oh,
I believe
you know,
that was-
who
I
knows?
believe she did that intentionally.
Yeah. I was gonna say, who are you to say whether it was intentional or not? My rhyming game. Okay. So if I remember right, that was the 4th turn. So on the next turn, we will be playing an event card.
Yep.
So I'm going to I have the investment firm property. So I am going to be using this card to. The card's effect is as follows. You may spend $150 to increase your property's worth by $25, and it stacks indefinitely. So I will be putting an investment into my weapons ring. So that's 150. And then, so my weapons ring now costs 175. And then I will play my collect insurance card. So I will be breaking up this 100. This card is now played, and I'm going to get some more money. And that's how I'll end my turn if you guys want to.
Pass.
Sheesh.
I
You know,
You have a really bad hand.
either
don't
he
you?
has a really bad hand, or he's plotting. One of the two. So, how much is your weapons ring?
You should have been paying attention.
Okay. Fine then. I'll play Unexpected Fortune.
play immediately no matter.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Let's play immediately.
Yeah, I get another $300, baby. And 3. Okay, you go there. Yeah, let's do. And I'm going to end my turn.
Cool. Okay. I am going to be making an investment. I'm gonna get 2 action cards.
Big ball of burn.
Ooh. Ooh. I got another checkmate. So I guess we'll see if this goes through or not.
Oh, off the table. What do you do?
It's a 3. It's a 3.
That's boo.
It's a 3.
That's a boo.
We did not specify off table.
Come, like not even the
That's a
camera.
1. That's a 1. I rerolled. That's a
The
1.
dice wasn't cocked, so it's fine.
It was a 1 and a 3, so you can't say anything.
Hey.
I am still safe. I will end my turn.
No, I'm happy she drew those 2 action cards.
I pass.
She's getting
I am suspicious of you,
Right.
sir.
very.
What do I have to do? Like I got moles.
Oh,
Well,
thank you for letting me know.
How's that useful?
Very.
You could discard the action cards. You realize, right?
And there's no reason for me to discard them.
I'm going to make investments and grab me an action card. Unexpected fortune.
Good job. How much? I'm pretty sure you passed the
No.
4,000.
No, he hasn't.
No, I haven't.
He was at like two.
Would you-
I was
He's
at.
at like 2.6K now.
Would you care to make a money count?
Sure. Why not? So
Actually,
one
we should
check.
all probably make money count.
Okay. One,
$800.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One, two, three,
So,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
2,000, 2,050, 2,070.
2,150. Ooh, good thing we can't visit 3,000 anymore. I have a big target to go back.
Yep.
Okay, I've been like coming in and out of frame.
Now we
Event
should-
card.
Oh, yes.
Event
Yeah,
card.
you cash in on stuff.
What event card do we have this time?
What?
Blackout again.
Oh, have fun.
Oh,
If we want
just
to
for those.
actually.
Do I want to reshuffle those cards really quick just to
Yeah,
make
reshuffle
sure?
and draw a new one so we can show something else off.
Okay.
Or just draw out the next one and hope it's not a blackout. Okay. Yeah. Now,
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure I shuffled this deck. You saw me shuffle this deck like 5 times.
Right. Oh my goodness.
just pick one from the middle one.
I'll be upset if
Just
it was
for this.
another blackout.
Another blackout. No. Street parade. The next revenue collection, the amount of money you get from your properties increases by half.
Alright. So since that happened just before we got our payday,
That's
that means
good.
it gets halved or increased by 50%.
You, my sir, are gonna get a lot money.
Yeah, you're gonna get lots of money.
Okay.
Back
I-
in the game.
I'm going to play.
Well, that happens right now.
Or yeah.
So
But so.
let's do some math.
Oh yeah, that's true. You should put
Alright,
the math.
700, 800, 900.
Forget two.
Half of 900 is 350. 1,300. 1,250.
Is it divided by half? Wait, what? I thought it was.
It's just because it increases by half, but that means I have to figure out what half of this is.
Oh, right.
I'll just like take one.
So
That's 200.
1,000.
Or not.
200. Replace some of your hundreds with 500s.
Okay.
I'll just do 60.
Because we're running out of hundreds.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll just do 60. Okay, so 60.
And then these dudes get doubled,
50,
so
plus 50. Or not.
how does that math?
Plus. No,
So we'll just get this
By
one.
half.
plus.
Half of 200 is another 100. So could you pass me 100? Thank you.
That going.
Hey, nice.
I have recently received a small fortune.
Shoot, I wish I had this much money in real life. Shoot.
I wish I had $5. And
Okay.
everyone gets their action card.
Ah, yes, that is true.
Actium card.
Okay, I'm just gonna let this crackdown go through. I received the crackdown card, so I had to pay $100.
Yay!
I received the crackdown. I ain't going like that. I'm paying $100.
Lose the next payment for my highest thing.
Yay!
I'm not going like that. Nope. I refuse.
Okay.
I'm sorry, little footy.
Now, I am going to get another action card.
Big ball of bread.
Yay! Yay!
I feel like this might end up being very fabulous.
I mean, it's good for me.
Unfortunately.
I am going to pay $100 and play both my collect insurance cards.
Oh, jeez.
Well then, that's
Absolute
cute.
madness.
So,
And just so you know, you can only play two action cards a turn.
Yeah,
So
just
she's
a
kinda-
reiteration. And since everything is increased by half, that still applies. So 600.
Lucky person.
70.
You know, I think she's caught up to me or past me. Oh, she's past me.
Wait, how much here?
Those fives are 2,000.
Okay. Well, don't worry, I got plans.
700. 760. So 2,785.
Alright.
That is how much I currently have.
For my turn to show off the betrayal aspect of the co-op feature, I'm going to roll betrayal. So let we go here. It states we roll the 6-sided dice, and if it rolls between a 1, 2, or 3, both of we get each of us get half the pot, and the deal just off. We get back our properties. If you roll a 5 or a 4 or 5, then you get the entire pot.
No,
and
it's a 75-25.
75-25 split, and both people get back their properties. If you get a 6, you get both properties and the entire pot. So, roll the dice, you get a 2, and it's just kind of,
Yay!
so that's
How much do we even
yeah, I don't know. Freaking, luckily it's pretty even.
Pretty even.
Okay.
Then, to really cement my betrayal, my 2 cards are 2 hitmen on you.
Oh!
Two hitmen on me. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh,
Do you have any safe houses, good sir?
No, I don't. I'm down to a life.
You are down to 1 life.
Oh my goodness.
So the cookie crumbs on there.
Oh man. Jesus Christ. Right. Okay. So, well, we just got paid, so.
No,
He got a crackdown.
Ah.
I hope the audio should have been.
So, I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to get my hands dirty. I'm going to raid your hospital.
okay.
I'm gonna
Wait,
All of the innocent
wait.
people that are being raided.
does
Yes.
So let me get this 800 bucks.
He's pilfering all of the revenue. It's like you had a nice little cushion, nice little nest egg, taking it off.
All right. And then I'm going to return the favor by throwing a hitman down on you.
Do you
Yeah,
have a
one
safe
life.
house?
No.
Oh, both of you are down to 1 life, and I've got full. Wow. This
It's
wasn't
just how
I
the
was
cookie crumbles.
expecting.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so that was yes. Okay. Since I feel I have the money spare. Hold on, was that?
No, it's my turn.
That was your turn, yeah. Have you
What
played your turn yet? No.
Yeah, I
Yes,
just
You
played.
did play your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a little confused.
You got confuzzled. It's
I
okay.
got confused. I'm going to get another action card. Since I am a little cruel, Would both of you like to roll that die really quick? I'm just adding this in really quick. Would you like to roll, each of you roll that die?
Who's off him?
6.
You can still get a 6. You'll have to re-roll.
Yeah, no.
2.
Well,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sending a hitman out on you.
Man, then I can't send my hitman on him yet. You stole my kill and killed me.
So, one player has officially died. Do we want to keep going between the two of us, or just for the purposes of this video?
I think this is a good place to end it. Shut it off.
Okay, so this was Hitman, our game 125 final.
Actually, it wasn't even Hitman. This was Kingpin.
Kingpin. Hitman was the other name for it. Okay.
Hitman was the
Kingpin, our game 125 final.
We hope you enjoyed our very interesting gameplay here. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Have a great time.